Good morning from Iron Heaven Gym over here on Stonegate in Omaha, Nebraska. Posterior chain day today. Had some issues earlier in the week, so had to train back yesterday. Doing a posterior chain day today with some heavy Romanian deadlifts, some glute work, some leg curls, and some work to pump up the quadriceps. Then tomorrow is a push session and Sunday's rest. So had to do a little bit of adjusting, which is no big deal. You adapt and overcome. Goal of today is that we're just really trying to focus on developing the glutes, developing the hams, and making sure that we get some good volume for the quads. This is kind of a secondary leg day, but I haven't been considering it as much because I've been combining it with pull. So it was some hamstring, glute, and back in there. But like I said, I trained back yesterday, so today is just a posterior emphasis day. So let's get to work. We got a new glute bridge machine. I'm gonna give that a whirl, even though I did glute bridge on Monday. We're just getting to work. All right. Make sure you at least listen to the video because I'm gonna be dropping some tips and tricks and places where you should go outside of this channel to learn as well, especially one channel that's really turning out some phenomenal stuff. So please, if you don't watch, take a listen. Okay guys, quick one today. I'm just gonna go through what I'm going to do, and then we're just gonna put some music on here and go to work. So in any event, starting out with lying leg curls, really just to warm up the hamstrings so my ham doesn't pop off while I'm doing Romanian deadlifts. So a couple of warm-up sets there, and then we go into our work sets where I hit failure for the most part, keeping the volume very low just because I did hamstrings earlier in the week, and the goal was obviously failure there, but on the seated leg curl. So again, we're keeping it limited, we're keeping it low, so I'm fresh for these Romanian deadlifts that are coming up. But yeah, if you're gonna do RDLs, make sure that you start with some sort of leg curl. I don't go straight into it, many others do, but I can't be many others, so I'm an old piece of shit, and that's how we're gonna do it. Couple of warm-up sets here on the Romanian deadlift. Didn't hit these last week due to a schedule change, but this week I was able to do, again, pretty much the same workout, just without the back movements, because I did train back the day prior to this. So the thing that you want to remember, hey, you want to make sure that you get a full stretch in the hamstrings, good stretch in the hamstrings, and then you shouldn't really be feeling a ton of lower back pump. Obviously, your lower back is going to be pumped, but also at the same time, you want to feel this in your glutes and in your hamstrings. So I'm doing touch and go this week instead of a full pause, and I'm just really working to get a nice full stretch in the hamstrings. And I'm hoping what this will translate to is more muscle in the back, and then just a very much a thicker, denser appearance from the backside when I turn to do my back double biceps and rear lat spread.
solid 405 effort, but the worst part of any type of workout is putting these goddamn plates back. It sucks so much, but that's okay because it was a good warm up for the next exercise that you're going to see, which was the glute bridge. So with the glute bridge, there's a new piece of equipment on here. It's the Nautilus machine. If you've ever seen me do a glute bridge in the past, I've used a different one that's actually decently constructed, but I just feel this one is so much better because your feet are lower and you can just really focus on driving upward. So a couple of heavy sets here, and then we move on to the quad pump up sets, and that's just basically muscle rounds, which, well, I should say cluster sets because I don't want Dr. Stevenson to cut me again like last time I did a muscle round video where we won't even too much get into that. All right, guys, if you lasted this long, here I am on the Rogers hip press, and I'm doing 6 quote unquote sets of 4 reps with a 10-second rest in between. I had to get in a good warm up set first just to make sure that my quads were good and ready to go. That's where I was at. Now, with the muscle round set, I did 4 plates and a quarter. I felt that was a great resistance for me to have. So I'm basically, you're going to start, when you do a cluster set, right? You're going to start off strong, but as you progress, the accumulation of fatigue is going to ramp up and you're going to hit failure at a certain point. So the goal for me today was 6 sets of 4 reps with 10 seconds rest in between. I'm not going to call it a muscle round because apparently there's a lot more in-depth stuff that goes into it. So we're going to do a cluster set here. And one of the things that you want to keep in mind when you're doing a cluster set is that you don't hit failure initially, right? So if you're doing, let's just say your cluster set is 5 sets of 3. All right. Those first 2 sets are not supposed to really be super hard. The third set is kind of a question mark, right? Your 4th and 5th set should be absolutely brutal to complete. So I usually, when I do 6 sets of 4, I'm usually hitting very, very close to failure on the 5th set and then complete failure on the last set. Okay. So remember, guys, when you do this, start out strong. Your strength is going to taper. Your energy is going to taper a little bit. And then that's where you back off a little bit. Replicated the same thing for leg extensions, right? And just basically did 1 muscle round set for leg extensions, 1 muscle round set, cluster set for leg press. So there you go. Lots of work done in a minimal amount of time. And then Brugger's Bagels was enjoyed after. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you do your hip hinge movements. Do your hip hinge movements to build a nice solid round backside from the waist down. And trust me, it'll make a difference in the way that your jeans fit and the way that your clothes fit. So, don't shy away from the hard stuff. Even with me being at an older age, the one thing that you want to find is that you want to find those movements that you can brace yourself against and then just focus on putting out maximal power output. The days of barbell squatting 500 pounds is over for me, right? Or not super over, but enough to where I don't want to do them because the risk to reward is too high. So find those exercises where the reward to risk is high. You get more out of it than you would another movement. So even with chest, dumbbells kind of rule the day. Machines rule the day. I haven't done an incline barbell press in months. I tried, my shoulder was on fire. So guys, remember to pick those exercises that are going to help you, pick those exercises that you can work through a full range of motion, pick those exercises that you can easily do any type of intensity technique on, whether that's a negative, whether that's a drop set, whether that's combining it with another exercise for supersets. So really start to get into thinking about your training and how you want to construct it so you can reach maximum muscle failure and not have to do a ton of work, or not a ton of work, but you don't have to do a lot of volume to get the accomplished effects. All right, until next time, guys.